Hello and welcome to tutorial 8 of the Changing Tides blanket crochet along. I'm Eleonora, the designer behind Coastal Crochet, and all the details about this blanket crochet along can be found over on my blog. The links are in the description below. So this tutorial is to accompany week 15, which is rounds 78, which is a round of double crochet, US single crochet stitches in the blue. Still carrying on from the blue we used in week 14. So round 78 in the blue, simple double crochet stitches. Round 79, which is where we are doing these raised stitches, which are raised double treble front stitches in the UK, and in the US crochet terminology they are front post treble stitches. And then round 80 again is just a simple round of ordinary double crochet US single crochet stitches. So week 15 has 3 rounds in total, but it's the just the one round, round 79, which has these raised textured stitches which look like ripples in the sand. It's a lovely stitch, and I really like the way they frame the corner with those textures and how they meet in the corner. So I will show you how to do this. So round 78 is just a round of ordinary double crochet, that's US single crochet stitches with the wrong side of the work facing, and it's continuing with the colour that we used in week 14. So what you're seeing here, I've done round 78, and then to move on to round 79 we turn the work. I've turned the work ready to start round 79, and the right side of the blanket is facing us. And we join with yarn D into any corner chain space. For me, yarn D was the yellow saffron colour. So we insert the hook into the chain space that we made in the previous round, round 78, between the double crochet US single crochets in the corner, and we make 3 chain, 1, 2, 3, and that counts as our first treble US double crochet stitch. And just like we have done many times throughout this blanket, when we start our rounds, we work a further treble, 1 treble into the same corner chain space, make 2 chain, and then a further 2 treble US double crochet into that corner chain space. And that's how we start this round. And we are now going to be doing our raised ripple stitches. Round 79, which is actually very similar to round 77, where we're going to be going around the posts of treble stitches below. But if you look at the instructions, we start this round with 1 treble in the next stitch. So 1 treble US double crochet into that first stitch of the round. And now it tells us to miss the next stitch, so we're going to be missing this stitch, but working a raised double treble front, or a US front post treble, around the treble stitch below it from round 77. Okay, so double treble is where you wrap the yarn around the hook twice as a US treble. We're missing this stitch directly next to the one we've just done, but instead we're working a raised double treble front, US front post treble, around the stem of the treble beneath it from round 77, and we insert the hook from front to back, round to the front again, and then just work the double treble, the US treble stitch, as normal. Yarn over, pull through to the front, and you should have 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and that's our first raised stitch. And now what we do is we continue with 1 treble in the next stitch. Remember, we're still missing that stitch behind, so there is the stitch that we're missing. Keep that one missed, and just work 1 treble US double crochet as normal in the next stitch. And we continue doing this all the way to the end. It becomes a little bit easier to see which is the treble to go around from round 77. So now we miss the next stitch, so miss the stitch, and instead we are working a raised double treble front or a US front post treble around the treble beneath it from round 77. And you can see we've gone around the post of this treble, so we're not going to go around the post of this treble. This is the one we're going to be going around because it's alternating the stitches. So insert your hook from front to back around the post of that treble beneath it and work the double treble US treble stitch as normal. Then we work one treble in the next stitch, so keep that stitch there missed, one ordinary treble US double crochet into the next stitch, and then work your raised double treble front, missing this stitch but in the treble beneath it from round 77. And now we're above the raised stitches we did in round 77. It becomes really easy to see which is the treble to go around. We're not going around the stitches that are already raised, we're going around those trebles between those stitches. So miss this stitch, and there's the treble beneath it, which also lies between those raised stitches from round 77. And then work that double treble US treble stitch as normal. And you can see the effect that we are now getting with those raised stitches. And we just carry on doing this, alternating between an ordinary treble US double crochet and then working the raised double treble front, the US front post treble. So you can see we've just worked the ordinary treble stitch. We now miss this stitch and we're going around the post of the treble beneath it. So wrap the yarn around the hook twice, insert the hook from front to back, around to the front again, and just work that double treble US treble stitch as normal. Keep that stitch missed there and work a treble in the next stitch. And there we go. And you can see now the effect that we're getting, and continue doing this all the way to the end of the side. So I'm nearly at the end of the side, and you can see where I've done those raised double treble stitches, US treble stitches in between the raised double treble US treble stitches from the previous round, round 77. So I'm nearly at the end of the side. I have just worked an ordinary treble US double crochet stitch. So now I'm doing a raised double treble, a US front post treble around the treble below the missed stitch. And again, you can see how the stitches are alternating. So it's around this one here, and just work that double treble US treble as normal, and then work an ordinary treble US double crochet in the next stitch, miss one stitch, and then go around the treble beneath it. Keep that stitch missed and then work an ordinary treble, US double crochet, and you can see we're nearly at the end of the side now, and the very last stitch to do the raised double treble front around, or the raised front post treble in US terminology, is that last treble there from round 77. So you can see we've gone around this one, not this one, we've gone around this one, not this one, and it's that very final treble to go around. So wrap the yarn around the hook twice, miss this stitch, but go around that very final treble around the post, front to back, around to the front again, and then work that double treble US treble stitch as normal. And there we go. And there should be one treble left to do on this side. So there's the stitch we've just missed, and now it's one treble in the final stitch of the side, US double crochet. And there we have it. We have done the entire side with these lovely raised ripple stitches. which give it that lovely effect of ripples in the sand. And so when we get to the corner, we work 2 treble, that's US double crochet, into that corner chain space, followed by 2 chain, 1, 2, and then a further 2 treble US double crochet. And there we go. And so we are now ready to go along the next side, and we repeat exactly what we did in that first side. So back to the beginning of the instructions, where the star is, so 1 treble in the next stitch, that's a US double crochet into that stitch there, and then just like we started the round, we now wrap the yarn over the hook twice, ready to do a double treble, US treble stitch, miss that stitch there, but work the raised double treble front or US front post treble around that treble stitch below from round 77, and then work that double treble US treble stitch as normal. And you can see the nice sort of corner effect with these raised stitches meeting there. It's a lovely, lovely effect. And now we just carry on as we have done, missing that stitch still, and then working an ordinary treble US double crochet in that stitch, and continue to alternate between those ordinary trebles and then the raised double trebles around the post of that stitch from round 77. So we're nearly at the very end of our final side, back to the start of the round, and we've just done an ordinary treble. So now we're doing our raised double treble front, US front post treble around that stitch there. Keeping that stitch missed, 1 ordinary treble, US double crochet in the next stitch, and a raised double treble front again, not around this one, around the stitch here. And now we have 1 more to do, so miss this stitch, ordinary treble there, US double crochet, and this is our final raised double treble front, US front post treble around that very final stitch there from round 77. And that's the final one. There should be 1 more stitch, so this is the stitch we're missing, and then there's 1 final stitch there where we can work our ordinary treble US double crochet, and that is the last stitch of the round. We now work a slip stitch into the top of that beginning 3 chain, because that counted as our first stitch. So we just insert the hook under both those strands and work a slip stitch to join the round. And there we have it. We've gone all the way around with our raised stitches to create this lovely ripple effect going all the way around. I think it looks really lovely. And so now we move on to round 80, which is just a round of ordinary double crochet US single crochet stitches. So we turn the work, make 1 chain, that counts as the first double crochet US single crochet stitch, and now we continue by working 1 double crochet US single crochet in each stitch around. Go all the way around and just work 1 double crochet, 2 chain, 1 double crochet into the corner chain spaces, and just work that all the way around. And when we get to the end of round 80, we make a slip stitch back into the first chain that we started with, fasten off the yarn and draw it through. And that is the end of round 80 and the end of week 15. And as you can see, we've gone round with the double crochet US single crochet stitches. And this is now what those gorgeous ripples in the sand look like. It's a lovely, lovely textured stitch. First in the blue and this week in the yellow. Those ripples in the water and those ripples in the sand. So this is the penultimate week. We have one more week to do on this blanket, which will be the edging going all the way around. So that's next week. But thank you for watching. I hope you have found this tutorial helpful.